guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Mervice. I hope you guys are having a great day today. So today I'm coming up with another first impression video, and this time it's time for Revlon. So Revlon has come out with a new foundation, and this is the new Revlon Youth FX Fill Plus Blur Foundation. So this foundation is formulated originally for mature skin, but even though it's formulated for that, I'm still gonna try it and see how it works in my kind of skin. If you don't know me or if you haven't watched any of my other videos, I have very oily skin, acne prone skin, and as you will see in the demo when I try on the foundation, I do have a lot of marks on my face, a lot of acne spots, like dark spots, and then also, you know, some acne bumps that are actually going on right now. So Revlon with this Youth FX line has 4 products in total, and I'll be trying 2 of these products. One of them is the foundation, and then the other product that I'm going to be trying in this video is going to be the concealer, which is also a Fill Plus Blur Concealer. And the idea with these products is that they will smooth out your skin tone. They will even out your skin tone as well. They're also supposed to fill in the small lines and wrinkles, and they have a total of 4 products, which 2 of them are primers. One of them is a primer for forehead, very interesting, and another one is a primer for face and neck. I'm not going to try the primers. I did not get those 2 products because another thing with these products, I feel like they're a little bit pricey for drugstore products, but you know, still wanted to see how they work, and if these are great, then maybe I might try the primers and see how it works. So this is what the foundation looks like, and as you can see, it comes in a squeezy tube, and it has SPF 20, and the color that you see out here is basically the color that you get. So the color I got is 400 Caramel. This foundation comes in a total of 12 shades, but only the last, I think 3 or 4 shades are the darker shades. So there's definitely not a lot of shade ranges for people with my skin tone or darker. So you're probably gonna have to end up mixing a couple of the foundations to get your perfect shade. This shade, I feel like it is a little bit dark for me, but I still can make it work with the concealer, which the concealer, I got it in the color medium deep, and this is what the concealer looks like. It comes kind of like in a pan form, and it has a sponge tip applicator. So this is what the applicator looks like. As you can imagine, I already have these products on my face, so you know, I have the concealer and the foundation on my face already, so that's why you can see this one is already used. But this is a first impression video, so I'm gonna show you a demo of the products, and then I'm gonna also tell you what my thoughts are while I'm applying the foundation, and at the end I will tell you my final thoughts. Alright guys, so now let's just get ready to see how this foundation works. I have already moisturized my face. I already put my primer, which is the NYX Angel Bell primer. This is right now my favorite primer of all times, drugstore and even high-end. I mean, I still love my Smashbox primer, but this is just amazing. So I'm going to be using the shade 400 Caramel. I do have the feeling that this shade is going to be a little bit too dark for me, but I think we can, you know, fix everything with the concealer as well. And the concealer is going to be in the shade medium deep. I'm going to squeeze maybe like a pump first and see how it works. So I think that's kind of like a pump for the product. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be using my Real Technique sponge on this side of my face. This is what my sponge looks like. And then on the other half of my face, I'm going to be using my Beauty Junkies Flat Angle Kabuki brush, and this is what it looks like. I'm just going to dot the foundation around my face, and let's just get started. I don't feel like the foundation smells like anything, to be honest. I don't feel any strong smell or anything, which is always good. So I'm going to start with my sponge side. Feels like a gel consistency, very smooth. I don't know if you can tell, it's definitely a little dark for me, but like I said, I can make it work with the concealer. I think it's applying very nice, but I do have the feeling like maybe if we move it around with our fingers first and then kind of like smooth it out with the sponge is better, because it is kind of like, since it's a gel, it feels kind of like a little tough to move around. But yeah, I think this is good. So let's use the brush on the other side. I feel like the brush is giving me a little bit less coverage than the sponge, but I'm definitely going to apply a second layer and see how it layers up. Besides, also, I do have like a couple of really strong marks. They're very pigmented marks, and I think I definitely need a little bit more coverage, like you can see right here, and then I have this one right here that they need a little bit more coverage. And yeah, let's just see how it works. Alright guys, so right off the bat I can tell you that the foundation is kind of like a medium coverage at best, because you can still see kind of like, you know, a little bit of my marks or hyperpigmentation around here, and then you can also still like see this mark right here, this mark right here, which is, I mean, I will say is a really dark mark. Like I have the other foundation I've been using a lot, my Covergirl Healthy Elixir. It is a pretty good coverage foundation. Like I feel like I can get kind of like medium to almost full coverage, but it will still show this little mark right here if I don't color correct before. So, you know, to be fair, I can give this foundation that, but I do feel like it is definitely not, I would not say it's a full coverage, and not even sure if I could say it's a medium coverage. And this is like two layers of the foundation, and I do feel kind of like it doesn't matter if I try to put another layer of the foundation, it will still not do that much, because the gel consistency of this foundation, I feel like it doesn't really let you kind of like build up much of it. I feel like it kind of just drags around the product, or my sponge kind of like ends up just picking up the extra product that I put over. It's kind of like you could not layer it, but I don't know. I mean, that's my feelings. I do feel also like this side, the brush, where I use the brush, I get a little bit less coverage out of it, because this side I feel like it's not as bad as this side as far as like all the little marks and hyperpigmentation, and still kind of like this side is a little bit more noticeable. You can see a little bit over here of marks. I mean, I hope the camera is picking that up, but yeah. I don't know. I'm gonna try to see if I can maybe put a little bit more in that area and see what it does, but let's see. I don't promise anything, so. And also, I do feel like you could work this foundation with your hands pretty well. It's really easy to drag put with your hands, but I feel like with the brush, it's not as easy. With sponges, a little bit better, but still not like the best. So I don't know what this is going to do. And then I'm also worried how oily it will make me be, because I have really oily skin. And this does not claim to be matte by any means, so you know, I'm a little worried that will make me a little oily. And this is the brush side, but to be honest, I'm not getting good coverage with it, so I'm just gonna use my sponge. So I think that definitely did a little bit something for me. And I think that's pretty much all we can get from this foundation. I feel like I should not really keep piling it up on my face. I don't want it to look cakey or anything, so let's just leave it as it is. Oh yeah, great. And it just started raining, so I hope you guys don't get to hear the rain, which is right behind my camera, hitting my window, but let's just see. Alright, so now let's get ready for the concealer and see what this bad boy will do for us. I'm gonna put it right around here. Feels very creamy, and this is medium deep, very light. And for the concealer, I'm gonna be using my sponge. Alright, so this is what a first layer of the concealer is doing for my eyes. I think it covered, pretty decent my eyes. I'm still gonna put a little bit more right here just because I have really dark circles under my eyes. Alright guys, so this is what the concealer and the foundation look like on my face. I think the concealer did pretty decent. I think I look pretty highlighted that right here, so I might just like put a little bit more on my nose and on this area so we can look a little bit more highlighted all over the face and not just under my eyes. Alright guys, so this is what the foundation and the concealer look like. As you can see, I think they both did a pretty good job on my face, so you can see this side and this side of my face. So I'm gonna do the rest of my face off camera. I'm gonna set my foundation, my concealer, and I'm going to do my eyes, my contour, and all that good stuff. And then I'll get back to you guys with my final thoughts about this foundation and this concealer. Alright guys, so I hope you enjoyed the demo of the foundation. I'm now getting ready to just give you my final thoughts on the foundation and the concealer. So to start with the foundation, I will say that with the application process of the foundation, my first impressions are that the application process is a little bit difficult just because it's kind of like a gel consistency. So I feel like with the brush you don't get the best application, you don't get the best color payoff, but you still get some. So I feel like if you have probably less problems on your skin, you can probably still use the brush if you prefer that. I think that's something that is definitely like a personal preference, even though for me I mostly rather use a brush, but with this one I would not recommend it. Like I said, I would recommend using the sponge. I think with the sponge you get a better, like a more even application. I think the product also kind of like goes on a little bit more smooth on your face, so I will definitely recommend the sponge. This foundation definitely needs to be set. I feel like even if you don't have oily skin, like in my case I have oily skin, so I always set in the foundation, but even if you don't have oily skin, you're probably gonna have to set it. I don't think that this foundation oxidized on my face. I think it stayed pretty much the same color, but this is what it looks like on my face. I don't want to forget to show you. So I think the foundation looks pretty good. I think it did a pretty good job at evening out my skin tone and also kind of like covering up a little bit of my dark spots. I would say though that at best this is like a medium coverage foundation. I would not say that it's full coverage. They do claim for it to be a high coverage, but I don't know how I feel about saying that this is a high coverage foundation. I feel like at best you get a medium coverage, because I feel like you cannot build up this foundation very much since it's kind of like a gel consistency. I feel like if you keep trying to pile it on your face, I just feel like it just kind of like drags out and it doesn't really do much. And this is mainly because I try to like put a little bit extra on this mark that I have right here. I don't know if the camera is showing up that mark, and I felt like it wasn't really covering anymore. Like whatever coverage I got with the second layer, that was it. I could not get any more than that, and so that's pretty much it with it. So as far as the concealer, I would say that the concealer, it is pretty lightweight. Just like the foundation. I think they're both very lightweight products, and I think the concealer did a pretty good job at covering up my dark circles. So Let's see if you can focus. Okay, so as you can see right there, I don't think you can see any of my dark circles, and they were pretty damn dark, to be honest. So I think it did a pretty good job at that. I do have to set this concealer as well. I think all of us need to set the concealer, but I will say though that I don't feel like it creased so bad on my eyes. I feel like most concealers, pretty much all of them, they crease under my eyes, but I think this one didn't do that bad. I don't think it looks so bad right here. I think it looks a little bit kind of like smooth and nice. So overall, guys, I will say that these two products perform pretty well. I think that the foundation did a pretty good job at evening out my skin tone and kind of like hiding a little bit of the imperfections on my face. I think the concealer did a pretty good job as well. And I think I would definitely recommend these products. And I think it will be very interesting to see how they perform on someone with a little bit more mature skin, someone with some wrinkles, because in that area, I couldn't really say if it works with that. Like, I couldn't say if it really kind of like hides or smooth out your wrinkles or fine lines. But yeah, so those are pretty much my thoughts on these products. I did forget to mention, guys, that I got these products at CVS, and the foundation was around $17.49, so a little bit pricey for a drugstore product. But like I said, if it works for you, I think it's definitely worth it, of course. And then the concealer was around $14.48, so also pretty pricey for a concealer, for a drugstore concealer. But I think it did a pretty good job, honestly. And if you get it like in a deal, like for example, I got these two products on CVS and they were buy one get one 50% off. Like, you know, I got the concealer for $7, so I think that's a good price. And you know that always the drugstore have like this kind of deals of buy one get one 50% off, or get 40% off on one product, and they have all these coupons and stuff. So I think you can always kind of like get a deal, and it's definitely worth a try. So I hope you guys really enjoyed the video, and if you did, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Also, subscribe to my channel if you want to see more videos like this. I do have another video on another foundation, and that is the Covergirl Healthy Elixir Foundation. It's an amazing foundation. Right now is my favorite foundation of the drugstore. So if you want to check that video out, I will leave a link down below so you guys can check it out. And I hope to see you on my next video. So bye!